defined as the breakdown of a given expression into smaller multiplicative units or factors. For example, finding factors of 12, 3 and 4 is factors of 12, 3 by 4 is 12, 2 by 6 is 12, and 1 by 12 is 12. Factors of 24 are 3 and 8, 3 by 8 is 24, 1 by 24 is 24, and 12 by 2 is 24, and 6 and 4 can also be 20. Is also correct.
Well, have a monomial factor, which is basically taking out the common factor in the expression and multiplying it by each term in the polynomial expression. And so if you look on the board, we have two examples. So we do the first one. We have x to the power 5 plus x to the power 7. So we look at the expression and see what is common. We have x on both sides. And the highest exponent we have is 5. And so we will put out x to the power 5. So now we say x to the power 5 multiplied by what? We have our open bracket. X to the power 5 multiplied by what will give us x to the power 5? That will be 1. And then x to the power 5 multiplied by what will give us x to the power 7? That will be 2, right? So they add the exponents. So 5 plus 2 gives us 7. So I will come back with the answer x to the power 5 plus x to the power 7. Next we have an expression that states 12x to the power 3 minus 16x to the power 6. We are going to see what is common in the expression. What could factor into both 12 and 16? And we have 4, because there is common factor there. So we go to 4. Again we have x to the 3rd power and x to the 6th power. So x to the 3rd power could go into both expression x. Right? That will go to the both expression. So we factor out 4 by x to the power 3. Right? We're going to see that times what could give us back our original, the answer to the original question. So 4x to the power 3 multiplied by what will give us 12x to the power 3. We will use 3 for 3 at 12 minus 4x minus 4x to the power of what will give us 16x to the power 6. That will be 4 x to the power 3.
Differences of two squares, and this is the formula: a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b. Next bracket, a minus b. And you can see here what we have done. For example 1, I have x squared here and I have 9. X squared minus 9. Both x and 9 are perfect squares. So since subtraction is occurring, you know that the expression is 2 squared. And the factors of x squared and 9, you can see down here, is x and 3. So therefore the answer will be x plus 3, x minus 3.
So today we're going to talk about trinomial of the type x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. So we can see that this expression here is the same as this expression here. Firstly, you have to make sure your first and your last term is a perfect square. We can see that 9x squared and 16y squared is a perfect square because 9x squared equals 3x squared, 16y squared equals 4y squared. Secondly, this number, this expression here, this is supposed to be 2 times the product of the square root of the first term and the square root of the last term. So the square root of 9 will give us 3, and the square root of 16 will give us 4. So therefore we will get this, and this will give us this up here. So therefore we can now factorize this expression here, which will give us 3x plus 4y times 3x plus 4y, which will give us back the same expression here if we work it out. And that's basically it.
Trinomials of the type x to the power 2 plus px plus q. First we have identified a, b, and c. In the second equation, I go wash through here. And example 1 is x to the power 2 plus 5x plus 4. So as you can see, I write down the factors of 4. So it is 1 and 4, 2 and 2. Next, identify the factor pair from the previous step and make sure it's sum up to b, which I use 1 and 4. Next, I substitute the factor pairs into 2 binomial brackets, get x plus 1 and x plus 4. And to show that talking about the question, what I have to do is x times x, so we know x to the power 2, x times 4, so we know plus 4x, 1 times x, so we know plus 1x, 1 times 4 plus 4, well, 1x is x plus 4x plus x will give me back 5x, so the equation will go back to x to the power 2 plus 5x plus 4. That is example 1. Example 2 now, x to the power 2 plus 7x plus 6. Like the previous example, I use C, find the factors of C, which is 1, 6, 2, 3. And like the step before, I use C, the factors of C to sum up B, which I use 1.6, and then I sum up to 2 binomial brackets, 1 plus x plus 1, x plus 6. And to show you about the question, x times x to the power 2 plus x times 6 will give us 6x, 1 times x will give us x, and 1 times 6 is 6. 6x plus x will give back 7x, which will bring back the equation to 7x plus 6. And that is it.
Factorizing general trinomial of the form rx squared plus px plus q. Just a brief recap, a trinomial is an expression that consists of 3 names or parts or terms. The trinomial which we are going to deal with now is one which has a coefficient other than 1 for x squared. So for example, this expression here has a coefficient other than 1, which is 5 for x squared. And this expression is also written in the form rx squared plus px plus q. Now the first step of factorizing this expression is by multiplying the expression by the coefficient of x squared, which in this case is 5. So as you can see, I have multiplied the expression by 5, which will result in this answer. After doing so, we'll get a plus b is equal to p. And if you look back in the first expression, we'll see that p is equal to 13. That's how I get 13 here. And then a multiplied by b is equal to q. And well, in this case here, q is 30. That's how I get 30 here. Now, we look for the factors of 30 that when added up will give a sum of 30. So factors of 30 are 2 and 5, 3 and 10, 5 and 6 and 30 and 1. Now out of the four sets of factors, we'll choose the second factor, seeing that when added it will give a sum of 30. So now we use 3 and 10 and write them in the factorized form, since they are the only pair that will give the sum of 30. Now let's set the factorized form. So, the factorized form will be 5x plus 3 and 5x plus 10. However, we need to remember that at the beginning we multiply the coefficient, so now we need to divide by the same coefficient to get the original solution. So now what I'll do is divide the factorized form by the coefficient, which is 5. So now I'll have 5x plus 3 and 5x plus 10 divided by 5. But know that 5x plus 10 can factorize by 5. So we now factorize it and we will get 5x. No. We now factorize it and we will get 5 and x plus 2. So now we write over the new factorized form, which is 5x plus 3, 5 and x plus 2 divided by 5. From this we see that the 5's can cancel, and this will now give a new factorized expression of 5x plus 3 and x plus 2. And the 5's are cancelled. Yeah.